Grimes is to Miss Anthropocene as Adam Sandler is to Uncut Gems. Welcome to Aaron Eats. I'm Aaron, I eat food and talk about music in very low effort ways. You should subscribe. New Grimes album, everyone. Let's talk about it. I think it's important for me to disclaim that I do have feelings for Grimes, so anything I say beyond this point might just be biased. Sorry. I was a big fan of Visions and Art Angels. Both great albums, but it's been 5 years since she has put out an album. And that's not her fault. She's had issues with her label, and that's okay. Things happen. She had issues with Azalea Banks. That's okay. Things happen.
Excited because I know it's gonna be like top notch. I'm like sitting here at my computer getting like trembling a little bit.
But I don't like to assume that like the longer an artist waits to release an album, like the better it's gotta be this amazing great thing. Not that like we should want mediocre albums, I don't know. But the timeline is irrelevant in my opinion personally. I also want to say there's a lot of opinion out there that Elan, before we get into the music, we gotta talk about the person. That's what I always do. There's an opinion that Elan ruined Grimes, made her uncool. I get where that's coming from. However, I think Grimes has just gotten older and she's changed through the years, and that's fine. And I'm tired of us conflating a couple together into one. Usually, you know, not to be a raging feminist, but when a man and a woman are together and they're both celebrities, it tends to be all like, oh, Grimes she's nothing but Mrs. Musk now, she's Elan's wife, and that's it. And that's upsetting to me. I don't like to see that. She's very much her own person. She's very much still an artist. And, you know, doesn't matter what you think of Elan. Separate art from the artist. Separate individuals from the couple. There you go. I don't normally like separate art from the artist because it's usually used as an excuse to allow abusers to continue to have power and continue to abuse. That's not the case with here, so I'm saying it now. I would much rather eat a tomato than an apple, like any day. I don't even like apples, but this is delicious. So let's get right into the album. Miss Anthropocene. More, you know, synth pop, electro pop. What else are we describing her as? Industrial rock, I think. More classic Grimes, basically. However, it holds up really well. I enjoyed this album. I think Visions and Art Angels were amazing and very revolutionary, and I think she set the bar really high for herself, and I think this album is still at that bar. I don't think it exceeded what she's done before. I don't think it's any less than what she's done before. I think like I said, I think she set the bar really high for herself, and so people feel like they need to find things to criticize about this album. But there's not, you either just like weren't really into it or not. Like I was looking at a lot of reviews and people were just like, oh, it's kind of boring, didn't do much for me, but there's not really, you know, the production is still amazing. She's still bringing everything to it. And for me, I was really happy with this album because it was a reminder that, like, it doesn't matter what's going on with her socially, like, she's still an artist, and she still really cares about music, and puts a lot into the production and everything that she makes, and it shows every single time. It shows, like, at heart, she is a musician, she is an artist. It doesn't matter who she is as a person, like, she is gonna keep bringing it. And that makes me happy. I have a friend who said that she always sings in lowercase, and I thought that was funny. I agree. Ooh, this is getting messy, but that's okay. So, a lot of the strongest songs on this album are ones that she released as singles last year. But again, issues with labels, all that kind of stuff. I'm not really gonna fault her for that. So Heavy, I Fell Through the Earth, first song on the album. It's great. I enjoyed it. Dark Side didn't do much for me. Delete Forever was one that I really loved. I think that I was kind of iffy about the album, and I was like, I don't know, Grimes, what are we doing? And then I got to that song, and I was like, okay, like, I can still stand, we're fine. I don't know, that one was, like, acoustic and folksy, but still, like, electro-pop like she normally does, and I don't know, the way... First of all, the vocals are amazing as always. I think she's a great singer. I think she's a great songwriter. I think the lyrics were really heavy and, I don't know, a bit emotional in the song, and I enjoyed it for that. But it also, like, just in terms of genre, this one song was all over the place, but it worked, and it evolved so well, and it was so, like, cohesive. And it was just interesting. I don't think she released Delete Forever as a single. She might have. I might be wrong. But yeah, that was one of the songs that I was like, okay, she's still Grimes, she's still an innovator, a musician, a talented woman, an artist, and I'm happy she's still here. Still doing her thing. Elan has nothing to do with this, thank you. But yeah, I always, you know, I'm always a fan of her antics and just what she does. I don't know, it's hard for me to clown on her. I think she clowns on herself, too, so it's not hard for me to clown on her. It's very easy to clown on her, but that's okay. I do it out of love, you know. I remember a while ago I said something like, oh, I miss when Grimes was cool. But then after listening to this, I was like, she's still cool. Like, come on. Elan can't take that away. I need to stop bringing him up. I'm just proving my own point. It's not about him. It's about her. It's about Claire. Or C, or whatever she changed her name to. Love her. Love her and only her. "4am or 4am. That's a great song. She released that as a single. That one it sounded like Bollywood music almost, which was really interesting. I feel like she kind of played around a little more than she has before, and that made me enjoy it a lot. And I think it paid off, because again, like, you can do whatever you want with music. If you're talented and passionate about it, like, it's gonna be good, and that always shows. And I think this is another example of that. We Appreciate Power, that was a single that was released a while ago, and I loved it when it came out. It made me, like, so excited for this album. I remember my friend said that you can't listen to it when you're driving because you're gonna, like, want to run over people, which I still agree with. Great song. Violence, great song. I Adore You, that's a new one that I haven't heard before. I don't think that was released as a single. And that was another one, like Delete Forever, that I was, like, really happy with. That I don't know. I don't know if it did something new. I couldn't really place, like, where the influence was coming from with that one. I just know that I liked it a lot. I Adore You, not I Adore You. IDORU. But yeah, in between, like, after 4am and before I Adore You, those kind of songs didn't really do much. They were just kind of like, they weren't bad, but I don't know, they were just kind of there. But I think this whole thing like holds up, and I like that she included all the different mixes in the album. I don't know, I feel like normally I would hate on that, but because it's Grimes, I'm like, she can do whatever she wants. No, not really, but because she likes to play with music. She likes to play with the way that music is constructed. So of course she has all these different remixes and versions on the album. Like, that's what she does. So I didn't have a problem with it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I think overall, hold on, let me get another bite of tomato. This is becoming a real mess. Overall, this album still holds up. She as an artist still holds up, I think. I can understand if you weren't really into it, but I don't think critically, like, analyzing this in the most objective way you can, I don't really think there's much to bash. You just either aren't really into it or you are, and it's just whatever. But because I am a big Grimes fan, which, you know, coming out of the closet about, I am a huge Grimes fan. I mean, there was a point in time where I was like, oh my god, I hate Grimes, but no, I love Grimes, and I'm not hiding it. There's no reason to hide what you like. Just like what you like and don't like what you don't like, and it doesn't matter, and life moves on. Enjoy things. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. The album's good. Grimes is good. This is another one of those albums that I always say, like, it should be entertaining and it should also have, like, an artistic value. And those are kind of, when it comes to any art, like, those are two things that are important that you have to, like, remember. And this is one of those, I'm like, I do think it is very, like, well-structured and, like, a piece of art for sure. But it also is just entertaining. Like, it's like Dance Dance Revolution core. And I mean that in, like, the nicest way possible. Like, this is really, it's entertaining, and I'm gonna listen to it for fun, just because I enjoy it. And I don't know, that's all I really gotta say. Now to give an arbitrary numerical rating to something that is subjective. 8 out of 10. Go eat a tomato. Bye.